Everybody knows a victim or two or three. I know a lot. I've seen a lot. It doesn't matter if it's YouTube. It doesn't matter if it's IG. It doesn't matter if it's TikTok. It doesn't matter if it is Facebook. Any social media platform you could name, there are victims there. People who post videos because they feel like they are victims. They're victims of their situations. They're victims of society. They're victims of their home. They're victims of their environment. They are victims by nature. They wake up being victims. And y'all know how I feel about victims on this channel. Self-proclaimed victims. Because we can identify a true victim when we see one. Based on what? Based on the stories that person tell us, or based on the story that we hear about that person in their situation, their upbringing, whatever it might be. Whether that person was robbed at gunpoint, whether that person was assaulted, we know true victims. But there are those self-proclaimed victims who cannot help themselves. They just can't. Everything about them, they make it into a victim mindset. They make it into a victim situation as if they are victims of everything that happens. They're victims for just breathing. And so the word of today is going to be victim, because these self-proclaimed victims, they swear that it's society's fault for their shortcomings. They swear that it's society's fault for their lack of inspiration, aspiration, for their lack of discipline, work ethic, for their lack of motivation. Yes, it's society's fault. It's never their fault. It's never the person looking in the mirror. It's always our fault. It's society's fault. That's the reason why they have not been successful, and that's the reason why they haven't made it to where they want to be right now. It is society's fault. See, these people, these self-proclaimed victims, will always try to victimize everything and say that the reason something is not, when it's based on them, is because it's your fault, my fault, not theirs. So now, Pat Bet Davis from the PBD podcast, he sat down with 50 anti-capitalists. And if you know what capitalism is, then you know that these people are more socialist than anything. They are open to government control over everything and dividing the wealth evenly amongst everyone. When we know that doesn't work, and it never will work. It doesn't work. Pat Bet Davis even goes into saying that if the wealth was divided amongst everyone equally in the world, it would still, in 5 years, come back to the same hands. And I absolutely agree with him, because we were never taught, we as people, we as society, we were never really taught how to manage money. You have to figure it out yourself. And see, this is the reason why I never claim to be a victim, because I'm learning to figure it out myself. Everything that I have figured out in life, I figured it out myself. The school system did not teach me certain things that I needed in order to survive, in order to live. And the same goes for all of y'all. The school system doesn't teach you everything that you need to know in order to survive and maneuver in this world, in this cold world, in this world where you can be a victim if you want to be. Do you see how interesting this world is now? You could be a victim if you want to be. You can be a self-proclaimed victim if you want to be. You can wake up tomorrow and say that you're a victim, while others are out here grinding and getting it. And what do we always say? We go out there and we slay that dragon. That's exactly what I do every day. And I'm learning how to use my time more efficiently. Because time is money, people. Instead of sitting there watching your next Netflix show, why don't you get off your butt and start to read a book? Start to read a book on finances. Start reading a book on business. Start a business. Do something other than sit there in your self-pity watching TV all day. Now, we're about to get into this clip where Pat Bet Davis sits down with a young lady who You can feel her energy. As soon as she sits down, she is the self-proclaimed victim of the year. And you could feel her energy. You can feel it coming off of her pores. But before we get into the video, I need y'all to do 3 things for me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this video so someone else can do the very same thing. And if they don't, then we're going to send Jubilee after them. Let's get into this video and see exactly why I say she is a self-proclaimed victim, and just peep her body language and her attitude as Pat Bet-Davis tries to instill some type of knowledge in her mind to let her know that she doesn't have to be a victim. No one ever has to be a victim, and everyone can work to get to where he is, and he is now a billionaire. So let's see exactly what these two have to debate.
How are you?
Good.
Grace?
Yes, Grace.
Good to meet you.
Hi. I want to say that I think it's pretty comical that an elite such as yourself has the gall to tell us average Americans who's in poverty and who's not. A lot of times,
I was an average American.
You're not
I was
anymore.
a guy that was in poverty.
You're not anymore.
And you can also
you're
change. You can also change.
Anyways,
Do you believe
you're
you can
talking
change?
down. A lot of times that the market for poverty is actually very low. So a lot of times like $2 a day is the line for how they measure poverty.
$2.15, yeah.
And that's ridiculous. So if I make $5 a day, I'm not in poverty.
But that's because it's around
I can
the world,
actually
not
live.
in
I can
America.
pay the rent.
Sure.
But we're talking about this country, right? We're not talking about around the world. I've noticed that you like to do that. You like to skirt from America and talk about other countries
I've been
to try
saying
to make it look like
times,
we're better, but we're actually getting
America's the greatest
worse.
country in the world.
Anyways, it's the greatest country.
Hands
We're at
down, it's not
we
even
are at the
close.
highest that we've ever been with homelessness since we started collecting
Why
data.
is that? Ask you. Are you from
because
California?
we haven't had a
Are
pay
you
raise
from
since
California?
2009.
Do you live
Our
here?
minimum wage nationally is $7.25.
Okay.
And you wonder why we have the highest poverty rate. You think that capitalism's winning? Can you survive? Would you like to live off $7.25
I used
an
to
hour?
work for $4.25 at Haagen-Dazs.
Right.
Then I
And that
went
was a
and
very
worked
different
at
time.
Burger King for $4.75.
And how much do you make
Then
now?
I make millions today. Then
Right,
I
and
worked
that's
at
why
Bob's
you like
Big Boy.
capitalism, because we're not all making that.
But
And
the
that's my
difference
point.
is, but
a
the
millionaire
difference
is
between
critiquing the people in poverty
the
and
difference,
saying
my
you should
hope,
work harder. You should work. You
my
can
hope,
be me.
My
We can't
hope,
all be you.
My hope is that you believe you can change and improve. That you believe you can upgrade yourself. That's my belief.
You know what? That's what rich people like you want to keep telling us. But you can be just like me. Do you want to be like me? If you work hard enough,
I'm not
you can
saying
be like
that.
me.
I don't.
It's not
I don't.
very realistic.
It's actually you wouldn't be able to be like me because
You're
you wouldn't
talking
work that
down to
hard.
people like
Would you
us.
work that hard?
You don't.
Would you,
I'm not going to tell you. I don't have to answer that.
If you don't
I don't
choose
have to measure my I don't have to measure my work ethic to be worthy.
You don't have to. Then you can't be upset for others who do so. You can't be upset
for people who are struggling.
No, because they work harder than you.
And that's what's wrong with capitalism, because
but
you
go back
think
to the
that
homelessness.
you have to work so hard.
Do you live in the state of California?
I do.
Okay, you said homelessness.
Yes.
What do you think about your Governor Newsom? What do you think about him?
I don't like him. I'm a progressive. He doesn't do enough for the people.
Do you know when he
takes corporate money.
Fantastic.
He takes money from people like
when
you.
He was,
he's not
I've never given him money. But do you know when he first became a governor?
Surprise, but
I would never give him money. But when he became a governor first, from then till today, he's raised the amount of homelessness in this state by 36,000 people.
Okay, I don't like the guy, but he's not at fault for homelessness. People like you are, billionaires like you are the problem.
Gave him $24 billion. Taxpayers
I believe it.
gave
I don't
him
like that guy.
$24 billion, and he didn't do nothing with it. It increased.
Vote him out.
You vote him out. You have him. It's not that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not here to defend Newsom.
You can
go.
But
you're not much different than him. That's all I'm saying. You're in the same class.
But you're sitting here blaming a person who's changed their lives for the better, and it's their fault. My dad was.
This is not the United States of Patrick Bet-David.
Do you know where?
This is the United States of America.
I know, and I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be here.
But are you willing to pay more taxes so that other people don't suffer? Are you willing to pay more taxes so other people don't suffer?
I am so grateful to be here.
I see you're skirting the question. You're not willing.
My dad was a cashier in Inglewood at a 99-cent store. We had nothing. No, I don't tell you that's great. We had nothing.
Well,
I'm the guy that had I'm the guy that had a
propaganda that you guys. You can be like me.
But what you don't want to hear is that because it's the truth.
We
Can I ask you a question?
Be like you.
When's the last time you read a business book? When's the last time you read a self-help book?
I don't need to answer that.
When's the last time you read a self-help?
I wrote a self-help book. I'm a writer. I'm a creative.
Tell me what self-help book you read.
I'm not.
Give me
one.
Need to. Give me one you read. Are you willing to take one recommendation?
No.
You're not.
Not for me.
Then I can't help you.
That's okay. I don't need your help. I didn't come here for your help. I came here to debate you.
Awesome.
As y'all can see, as you have just witnessed yourself, you've seen it with your own 2 eyes. The attitude, the body language, her mannerism, how aggressive she was. over talking him. You can't have a debate like that if you're over talking each other. If I ask you a question, I'm going to listen for the response. And then you ask me a question and you do the same. That's how you debate. But she wasn't willing to do that because she came there with an agenda. As soon as she sat down in front of Patrick, she had an agenda in mind already, and it is because she is a self-proclaimed victim. Victim. That's exactly what she is. She's never going to be anything other than a victim, because people like that mentality is ingrained in them. It's not going anywhere at all. They are victims. They breathe victimization. They sleep victimization. They wake up victims. So and there were a lot of points for us to address, but I'm going to make it quick. As you can see, she blames the self-proclaimed or the self-made billionaire, millionaire. She blames them for poverty. She blames a person who wakes up early, reads books, goes to the gym, works hard, works long hours until they make it, until they make the amount of money they're comfortable with, until they become 100,000aires, millionaires, billionaires, until they have wealth. They've acquired the type of wealth that they've always dreamt of. Until they do that, right, it's their fault that everyone else is left behind. Make that make sense. How is it my fault that you're not successful? Make that make sense. We all have the same what, folks? The same 24 hours in a day, the same 7 days in a week, the same 365 days in a year. So what does that tell you? That means if I can make it, you can make it, she can make it, and the next man can. Why is that? Because if you put in the amount of work that you do to blame everyone else, to run your mouth, to cry about it, to sit down and lay down on your couch eating popcorn and watching movies all day, if you can do that, then guess what? You can work as hard as I do, work as hard as Patrick Bet David does to become rich, to become wealthy, to make it. See, I had to change my mentality as well, because I've always been an entrepreneur and I've always wanted wealth. I've always wanted wealth because I want to live the best life possible. And so in order for me to do that, I set my eyes on the prize and I went out there and I got it. I slayed the dragon. You can do the very same thing. The problem is that some of y'all will not do the same things that I did in order to be successful, and the same things Patrick Bet David did in order for him to be successful. Most people will not do that. This is the reason why most people do not start businesses, because some people would rather do the easy things than the hard things, right? Right. It's easier for you to just make $725, and that's crazy to me that some people actually still make $725, and I'm talking about adults. There's no way you as an adult, whether you're in your 30s, whether you're in your 40s, your 50s, should still be making $725 somewhere. That tells me that your work history is trash and you are literally starting all over, because $725 is supposed to be for kids. Yes, teenagers. They're supposed to start those jobs because they don't have real responsibilities yet. The little money that they make is for fun. You cannot expect someone to pay bills off of $725 an hour. You just can't. And so if you're an adult and you're making that, shame on you. There's a problem with what you've been doing, not everybody else, not the world. It's not society's fault that you are falling behind. It's your fault. This is exactly what Patrick Bet David was trying to tell her. Not to mention, he was going to recommend a book to her, a self-help book to her. And guess what she said? No, I don't want to read your book. That's how much disdain she has for Patrick Bet David and the hard work that he has put in to be successful. See, people like this will always continue to be what? Victims of everything, victims of the environment, not realizing that they are victims of that very same ideology that is keeping them behind. Until next time.
If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.